My second new technology is Epic, and Epic is something that I was introduced to by my cooperating teacher when I was student teaching. But Epic is a wonderful website that contains a ton of digital reading. There's different kinds of books depending on grade level. So I've set up an Epic account for my class, and you can see I have my class code here. And each student in my class has a login. So they are easily able to log in with my class code. And over here, I can see their daily activity. I can see that these students have read certain books. I can go to my library and I could add different books. For example, I have an animal collection that students can click, and there's a bunch of books about animals that they can read. So my students can take assessments or quizzes after reading each book. You can also see that I have 16 students, 101 books have been finished, and 19 hours read. So Epic is a wonderful website for students. They can get books read to them, which I really like. I have, even at the fourth grade level, I have students that have trouble reading still, and so being able to listen to an audiobook really helps them. The only thing I don't really love about Epic is I have to tell my students to stay away from the videos. It's just because some of the videos, have nothing to do with reading. They're just fun videos. So sometimes I'll catch my students on random videos instead of reading. So that's the only part of Epic that I don't love. But it's a good change up for students rather than just reading their library book. So every Friday I allow students to read on Epic rather than their library book, and it's a nice little change up. There's a bunch of different books with different reading levels. So you could tell your students a specific reading level that you want them to read from. But you can see here that some say read to me and some don't. So you can see that certain ones can be read. But my students really enjoy Epic, and it's just a nice little digital change of pace rather than just using a library book. It's also helpful as teachers because I could assign different books to my students. So if it was Martin Luther King Jr. Day and I wanted to assign this, I could put my instructions, the start date, and assign it to my students. You can also require them to do an end of the book quiz where I can see their scores. So it's really handy. And overall, I enjoy Epic and think it's very valuable to teachers and students.